Hi, this is your girl, Get Legit LLC. Yeah, we're back. Sunny Caribbean opinion and legal twist to these matters happening in social media. My disclaimer: whatever information I'm using is being used under the Fair Use Copyrights Act, 1976. So please, if I use your material and you don't want me to use it, there's my email address. You know what to do. Please like, comment, share, and do subscribe to my channel if you like my content. And here goes. So I've been listening and watching Messy Mondays, and as well as been following Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. And I want to make some comments as it relates to the commentaries that I've been seeing under those different videos, commentaries that I've seen having related to Marshall Holt and Melody Shari. Yeah, that's me. I'm a Belizean girl. In Belize, I'm a licensed attorney, not yet licensed here. But yeah, this video, like I said, is to discuss comments that I've been seeing having to do with Rasheeda and Kirk Frost as as opposed to Melody and Martell. Now, for those of you who don't know, this is Rasheeda and Kirk Frost, her husband. They are stars of Love and Hip Hop Atlantis. They have been on that show since 2012. They're a married couple. They have been married since 1999. They have two biological kids. However, Kirk, he does have a whole other brew of kids that he had before Rasheeda. He has one child that was conceived during the marriage. That child he shares with Jasmine Washington. I believe it was a infidelity that resulted in that child. And so today's date, we've been seeing their marriage being tested once again in 2024 on social media. And people have been putting forward their commentaries and so on. Commentaries, why? Because what? Rashida chose to stay with her husband, and people believe Rashida should have left her husband, as opposed to Melody Shari Rajas, who left her husband, but yet you see the comments that she's been getting. Yeah, this is Kirk Frost's entire family, Rashid Kirk and Rashida's entire family with all their kids. And that is Jasmine Washington, the woman who has his son, Canon, and that child was born out of wedlock. But yeah, we're not going to discriminate against a child. A child is a child, at the end of the day. Yeah, that's Queen Melody. And yeah, if from this video you will kind of detect that, yeah, I am a millimeter, a proud millimeter, because I don't see anything wrong with the millimeters. And so Mel and Martell, for those of you who don't know, they were married. They lived in Huntsville. They're the stars of Love and Marriage Huntsville, a Kingdom Reign production. They have a beautiful family with four children that they both shared, and Martell now has, I believe he has other children outside. That is Martell side chick, the bird, the whatever we want to call her. She's the mother of his son, Ariane Curry. And she has been trying her best to get on the show. However, Melody has been blocking that at every which way. Melody and other casts, I believe. Craig Frost and Melody, they share something similar, infidelity that's played out on national television, where we see Rashida stayed with her husband. We see the backlash, the comments that she's been getting, and then where we see Melody, who chose to divorce her husband. On the opposite, she still gets backlash. So at the end of the day, it have you wondering, like, what do people really want? They want a black, strong black woman to stay with her husband or leave. I mean, look at these comments. This is from the Mr. Mondays when you have Carlos King and Dr. Heavenly talking, and people just make comments. They talk about the women who are not Melody's friend, whether or not Melody was, instigated all along, the fact that she never let herself to be available to them when she was going through her hurt. I mean, like most women, we tend to just want to hurt in silence. We want to deal with it, get ourselves strong, and so on. However, if you look at the different commentaries on the Messy Mondays, you're going to get a sense of what people think of Melody, because she decided to do what most women would do, leave a cheating husband, or a husband who seems to not want to cheat. I mean, not want to end the cheating and just want to perfect it. Melody did give him 5 years, like she said in her song, Side Chick Award. She did left her husband when he, and he insists on having his infidelity with Ariane Curry and other women, and got her pregnant and so on. But like Mel said, it wasn't about the child, it was about the fact that he was not going to change. And yes, she did forgive him, stayed with him 5 long years. And like she said in her song, that was too much. because he seemed to take her for granted. And so, if you look at the comments, you're going to wonder, like what I'm saying, what is going on? They're saying, oh, Mel isolated herself. She put herself on an island. But yeah, most people want to heal. You don't want to be a vulnerable, a needy person. You don't want to be weak in front of these persons like her classmates. If you watch the show, you're going to know what I mean when it comes to Timmy and Tisha and so on, and Marceau and Maurice and the whole nine yards. And then you have Stormy now. You have, Destiny. So it is a lot. And the emojis that I have, or the gifts that I have here in these videos, tells you what they think. They say Melody think the worlds revolve around her. But I don't think it's so much the world revolves around her, but she tends to seem to be someone of the world because of her knowledge base, because the way she carries herself, her mindset, the fact that she has been able to redeem herself and build herself back up after a divorce, after filing for bankruptcy, because her husband first filed for bankruptcy. And so when you look at some of these comments, I can't help but think that we are going back to the Twilight Zone era, because people just seem to be delusional. I mean, they like to say birds of a feather flock together. And yeah, maybe perhaps that's why Martel hangs out with Maurice and Marceau and the other men that he does, Fletcher and so on. Yeah, it could be birds of a feather flock together, but we don't know. But what I do know is that Mel seems to be, she's a strong woman. She's an advocate for women's power, empowerment of women, and I think we should all want to follow that. And the negative comments that I've been seeing when it comes to Melody on Messy Mondays is so disappointing. Now here we have another situation similar to Mel, in that there's infidelity, there's a child involved, having to do with Rasheeda and Kirk Frost. Now, in this case, Rasheeda decided to stay with her husband. And still, even though she decided to stay with her husband, people are upset because she stayed with her husband. Now, you have the reverse. Melody left her husband. People are upset because she left her husband. They're saying, oh, she's bitter. Oh, she keeps talking about it. But guess what? It's her life. It's her pain. It's her hurt. It's her, her marriage that was blown up, her family that was separated. And so if she wants to discuss it all she wants on her show that she pitched, then guess what? I believe she can do that. But yeah, Rasheeda and Kirk Frost, they've been going through it in this 2024 Love and Hip Hop, and we've been seeing people have been making their comments as to what they think. I mean, it's interesting when you go back and you look at some of the comments and the way how Kirk Frost treated her, especially in season 6, where he kind of like insists that she do a DNA when she was pregnant with their child, and never insisted on DNA with Jasmine. Yeah, that's wild. Now, when it comes to those two, we do know that Rasheeda confessed and said that yeah, she cheated on him. However, that's neither near here nor there, because guess what? That family decided to stay together. They decided to try to work things out. And as much as Rasheeda wants us to believe that Kirk has changed, the fact that Kirk seems to be saying things and doing things outside of her presence, having to do with Jasmine, saying things, texting her. Because low-key, I kind of believe what Jasmine is saying. So yeah, if you believe what Jasmine is saying, that he's texting her, that he wants to be with her, that he's only going to give her more money if she sleeps with him, then yeah, it seems as though Kirk is leaving the door open, and he wants Jasmine to open the door up to welcome him in loving arms, as it relates to yeah, act as though they're co-parenting, whatever it is. However you feel about the situation, it cannot be a nice thing to be in as a woman. We know what that's like when you love somebody, the person is cheating on you, the person is not being faithful to you in whatever way. We know how that feels. So from one woman to another woman, yeah, I can get how Rasheeda is feeling, and I do applaud Rasheeda for trying to save her family. I mean, a marriage over 20 years is unusual in her line of business. And we see, on the other hand, we had Melody, who tried to save her marriage, but yeah, even though she tried to save it and she gave him a 5-year pass, or a 5-year for him to get his act together, and he didn't do that. That baldhead didn't do it. The fact that she left him after 5 years, people are coming at her for that. And the fact that Rasheeda stays with her husband after 20 plus years of marriage, people are still coming against her for that. So it kind of like makes you want to cringe. Of course, it makes you cringe. The fact that like what people want, what they expect. I tell you what, I tend to go to the commentaries, and I go to see what people are saying, and people are like, oh, we feel sorry for the child, the kind of the child who is caught up in the middle of this. And yeah, you do have to empathize with the child. You do have to empathize with the child that Arian has, because at the end of the day, he is a human being. He's a child. He has rights. He's going to be hurt by what he's going to see having to do with him. which is why we need to make better decisions, especially when it comes to our kids. And no matter how much you side eye somebody, how much you want to say like bye bitch or whatever, you want to give grace to women who have gone through it, and women that we've seen like Melody, who just thrive and who is doing well and who is a good role model for us. At the end of the day, we need to realize that, you know what, guys, sometimes you just have to stop. You got to love yourself. You got to focus on you, and you just got to do what is right. So for those of you who like my content, please like, comment, share, and do subscribe to my channel so that I can grow, so that I can build my channel up, so that I can do more of these commentaries and the, like, debunk. They're not really debunking I'm doing, but I'm just doing a comparison. I'm looking at the different comments. And as you can see, the commentaries just keeps on coming and coming and coming. People really do feel invested when it comes to Rasheeda and Kirk's situation, as people do feel invested when it comes to Melody and Martel Holt. Now, I do know this season it seems to want to be an attack as it relates to millimeters, but as far as I'm concerned, being a millimeter means that you're someone who is smart, you're someone who can appreciate information, you're someone who has been watching the show from day one, and you could appreciate what Mel has been through, that you could debunk whatever they want to say to us to make it seem as though we've not been following the show, as it relates to things that people would want to make us believe that we're like a cult. If we're a cult, if anything, it's a cult of strong women who appreciate facts, women who are logical when they're thinking, women who are successful, women who are family oriented, and women who can look at something and see that, hey, this is another human being, another black woman who was hurting in her marriage, who has used her marriage to level her divorce to level up, who has shown us as women that we can leave a situation as bad as it was or as good as it was at one point in time and still thrive and still do what's right for our kids. Melody has been showing that us that. She has been showing us that how she focuses on her kids, ensure that they're in therapy, ensure that they have extracurricular activities. How when we watch that video of her hyping up her daughter Maria going into middle school, those are the things that we as women we like to see, and so we put her on a pedestal, so to speak, because of the way she carries herself, the things that she has been through. Now, when you contrast that with Rasheeda, we see a woman who wants to keep her family together no matter what it takes, and she has been trying to do that. Yeah, the comment when it comes to the child, when she said that boy and not call him by his name, that kind of like was a low, and it kind of seemed insensitive to the fact that it's a child, he has a name, to refer to him as that boy. But at the end of the day, I think many times we tend to forget that this is a woman whose heart is hurting, whose husband has ridiculed her, embarrassed her in a public national stage as a television. And to my mind, no amount of money that you get could really compensate for putting yourself in that position, but she has done so. And she has done so in such a way, herself and Melody Shari Rogers has done so, that we as women can look at it and then reflect on our own lives, reflect on our own relationship, our own issues that we got going on, and decide which way to go, how we're going to come out of it. We either come out as Melody on top, thriving, doing her best, focusing on her children, focusing on her many businesses, or we're going to be a Rasheeda, where we stay in it and we go through the day-to-day hurts, the day-to-day toiling of it, the day-to-day lies that the man is going to bring in our face. So here we get to see on two different reality shows, we get to see two women, one stayed, one left, and how they dealt with it. And it is for us to decide how we are going to deal with it in our own personal lives, because many times we see art imitating real life, and because it's reality television, guess what? It is real life. So for those of you who like my content, do like, comment, and do subscribe. There I had some statistics that shows that infidelity is the number 2 reasons why marriages end in divorces. And here you got other reasons why marriage end in divorces. And so people, if you're a married woman, you're going through what Melody and Rasheeda has been going through, please get help, get therapy, speak to people, speak to family members, read the Bible, go to church, pray, find some kind of hobbies that you can do.